Hello everyone! I wanted to give you an update of how today went for this trip. It was a little bit of a different day as far as what I did. I got up this morning and got ready, and then I went over to Union Station. I walked around all of Union Station to check out the different stores, the different food options, and just kind of get the lay of the land of Union Station. While I was going through there, I did see one store that kind of caught my attention and went in there and talked with the lady that worked there. And I want to give a shout out to her. Her name is Olivia, and she works at Newhouse. It is a Belgium chocolate store, and Olivia is just a sweet, sweet, kind soul. We talked for quite a bit, and if you get a chance to go to Newhouse and meet Olivia, tell her you saw my video. We talked about the channel, the YouTube channel, and I told her I'd give her a shout out. The people at Newhouse need to know that Olivia is amazing. Her customer service is impeccable. I ended up getting my breakfast, quick breakfast to go, and nothing too heavy, and then I went to try and head towards the train. A little tip for you, the train will start boarding about 15 minutes before the actual time. So my time, I believe, was at noon. I think it was actually at noon. And they actually started boarding at like 11:45. And when they start boarding, it is a mass exodus of people trying to go all at once. And so you don't want to get there 5 minutes before, because you're going to be trying to push through a crowd to get to the train and possibly miss your train. But I got on the train and went to Wilmington, Delaware. As I have said in my videos, my goal is to go to all 50 states before the end of 2 years. And with this trip, I will be going through South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. And the only state that I would be missing in the whole region would be Delaware. So I decided to get a train ticket to Delaware and hang out there for a couple of hours and then come back to DC. So I got on the train. The train ride is about an hour and a half. Just got a regular coach seat. Now, I did find out something interesting, and I did not know this. And I don't think it's available on all trains. But the train that I took is the Northeast Regional or Northeastern Regional train. I believe it runs from somewhere in Virginia all the way up to Boston or New York, and it just goes back and forth. And there's a couple of those trains that go back and forth during the day. And it's kind of like commuters going between all the major cities on the eastern seaboard. But what I found out is they actually have a quiet train. There's an actual train car on the train that it is considered a quiet train where there is no phone use. I mean, you can use your phone, but you can't be playing music or playing anything out loud. You can't be on the phone. If you talk, it has to be at a whisper, or you have to actually leave that car to have a conversation. And it's really, really nice. I mean, it's so nice because the train is peaceful anyways. But then if you have it to where there's not a bunch of people talking and conversations, it's really quiet. In fact, the only thing I could really hear was the person behind me on their laptop. I could hear them typing. That's how quiet it was. And it was just kind of added to the peacefulness of the train. But I got to Wilmington, Delaware, and when I got off the train, it's kind of a little historic area, almost like a historic downtown area. That's just a couple of blocks off of the main road where the Amtrak station's at. There's a lot of like mom and pop shops, there's little restaurants, and I ended up getting lunch at Over the Border Tacos. Now, when I travel, I try my best to take pictures of the food that I order and tell you what I ordered, and that way I can kind of share with you, oh, I ordered this, it was good, it was bad, whatever. Unfortunately, when I got my tacos, I inhaled it. I was hungry and I completely forgot to take a picture. But I will say I got the steak and the steak taco and the shrimp taco, and they were both very good. Now, I did order an agua fresca to drink, and I got a picture of that. And this drink is huge. I know you can't tell in the picture, but the cup is like this big. It is massive. It's hard to hold with one hand. And then it's about that tall. It's this huge, wonderfully tasty drink. And it took a while for me to finish it. But after I ate, I walked through that historic downtown area, saw, some interesting buildings, and then I made my way back to the train station. I just didn't want to get too far away and accidentally miss my train. Although if I did miss the train, I could get another ticket. The ticket was only like $24 one way, so it's not like I was spending a lot of money on the ticket, but I didn't want to miss my train. Went back to the train station. I will say the Wilmington, Delaware Amtrak train station doesn't have a lot of options. There's really only one store in there. It's kind of like the newsstand convenience store type stores. The ones kind of like you see in airports. But there's not any restaurants inside the train station. It's just a very small train station. But if you do get to that train station, just know that there are a lot of options in the nearby area for food and shopping. My train was delayed by 20 minutes, which wasn't too big of a deal. Got on the train, came back to my hotel. About 15 minutes later, my friend that lives here in DC came by the hotel and picked me up, and we were going to an event. But we needed to get something to eat for dinner before the event. So we ended up going to Baker's Daughter is the name of the restaurant. I believe it's on the corner of 12th and K Street. But it's Baker's Daughter. They mostly, I think they kind of serve more of the breakfast kind of, commuter crowd. They do have a bigger breakfast menu. They do have a menu with like sandwiches that they can fix later in the day. They have like a cooler setup where you can grab and go things like parfaits and sandwiches and salads, but then they also have like coffee and stuff. So it's really more of like a cafe setup. But we needed something quick because we only had like 40 minutes left before the event. So we got some sandwiches. I ended up getting the grilled cheese and had them add bacon to it. It was really good. And it was very inexpensive. And then right next to Baker's Daughter is the Eaton Hotel, and that's where the event was. Now, I don't know all of the details about this event because it was my friend who told me about the event. the woman who was speaking tonight, he is friends with her. And so I don't know all the details. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'll try and give you as much information as I got. I believe the name of the event is A2B. So the letter A, the number 2, the letter B. And it happens every Thursday night at the Eaton Hotel. And the way the event is they pick an album and they cover the album. They talk about the album. They talk about the music, the artist, and it's a range of topics. Maybe it's the history of the songs and the stories behind the songs on the album. Maybe it's the artists themselves and how they may have changed the world. And that's as far as social aspect, political aspect, sexual, religious aspects, different aspects of how a musician or artist can change views in the world and thoughts in the world because of their music. And for tonight's event, the artist was Madonna, and the album was Madonna, her first album. And it was very interesting. It wasn't just the one woman speaking. She was basically the host of the event and would pick a topic, and then everyone in the crowd could, chime in and give their perspectives. And it was interesting to hear different perspectives from so many different people from different walks of life. So yes, if you are visiting DC, or even if you are a local in DC, check out the Eaton Hotel, A2B. And I know I got the tickets for it on Eventbrite, and the tickets were free. And it wasn't like anyone was checking tickets when you go in. It was more of just kind of giving them a head count. And so you could just spur of the moment show up for the event. It was just right off the lobby when you walk into the hotel. But I recommend checking that out if you're looking for something different to do in DC. But after the event was over, I got an Uber back to my hotel where I am at now, and I believe I'm gonna call it a night. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, wasn't the best sleep, so I want to get a good night's sleep because tomorrow is my last day in DC. Or should I say it's my last full day. It's amazing how time flies. I feel like I've been in DC for a month, but at the same time, I feel like I just got here. So yeah, I want to get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. I don't have anything technically planned for tomorrow. There is one museum and memorial that I do want to try to go to. I tried to go to it the other day, and when I went online, I saw that they were actually closed. If you're coming to DC, check online for the different museums that you want to go to, because sometimes they can be closed on weird days. Like this was closed on I think a Wednesday. Why? I don't know why. But yeah, check online before you come to DC for the different museum hours and the days they are open, because nothing's worse than making a plan to go to a certain museum and you get there and then it's closed. So tomorrow I'm hoping to go to that. I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video, tempt you to watch the next video. But hopefully I can go to it. Tomorrow it's no joke on the weather app on my phone. It's 100% guaranteed to rain tomorrow. Not looking forward to that. But I do have my rain jacket and I have an umbrella. It's just water. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, and see if I can fit in anything else. If I happen to see another museum, I may try to get out of the rain and go in there and check that out. But either way, I will take all of you with me so you can see all of the different sites that I see. If you have any questions about how to book the Amtrak trains, or maybe you have a question about the different options and amenities that you can find at train stations, feel free to leave a comment below and I will try to get to that as soon as I can. If you have any other questions about the event that I went to, you can leave that below and I will try to reach out to my friend and get more information to pass along to all of you. But I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!